Today we are going to go over basically, I guess, like charts and patterns. So this would be like a table right here, and typically there is some sort of pattern that they follow. So it says determine which choice best answers each question. So let's just read the question, look at the table, and see what we got. So the chart below shows the number of customers a new restaurant had each day. If the trend continues, so this is a very important part of these problems, which basically means if the trend continues, basically means if the pattern that it's showing continues, how would you determine the number of customers on day 13? So let's look at the pattern. So right here, it's day 5 is 8 customers, day 6, 9, day 7 is 10, day 8 is 11. So it looks like both, as the days are going up by 1, customers are also going up by 1. But we do not have, on day 5, it's 8 customers, and day 6 is 9 customers. So it looks like we have to add 3 to the day to get the amount of customers. So it's 5 customers, or I'm sorry, on day 5 it's 5 customers, or on day 5 it's 8 customers. So that means we would have to add 3 to 13 to figure out the number of customers on day 13. Now, these are interesting multiple choice questions because they're actually asking you how to find the answer as opposed to what the actual answer would be. So I just want to point out a couple of things. One is that if you don't have just like an easy way of, if you can't figure out kind of the easy way to figure out the answer, you can just continue making the chart, right? So what I could do is I could write day 9 would be 12, day 10 would be 13, day 11 would be 14, day 12 would be 15, and day 13 would be 16, right? So I could just continue this chart, and that's a good strategy to use a lot of the time because it typically is not too hard to do, and you will usually get the right answer as long as you can do the basic math. Alright, so let's go to number 2. A chef was cooking batches of chicken. The chart below shows the number of pieces he cooked and how many minutes he cooked them for. How would you determine how long you should cook 10 pieces of chicken? So we have 1 piece is a cook time of 8, 2 pieces is a cook time of 16, 3 pieces is 24, 4 pieces is 32. So what is the pattern here? So it looks like as the pieces go up by 1, we're going 8, 16, 24, 32, which looks like we're adding 8 each time, right? So we're just multiplying the amount of pieces by 8, right? 1 times 8 is 8. 2 times 8, 16. 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 8 is 32. So a good way to figure out the pattern is you can do something like, if the pattern is, not evident right away, you can be like, all right, so we're at 1 piece is 8. Then to get from 8 to 16, I know that that is plus 8. And then 16 to 24 is plus 8. And then, 8 to 16 is plus 8. 16 to 24 is plus 8, and then 24 to 32 is plus 8. So it looks like the pattern is 8. So that's always a good way. If the pattern doesn't pop out at you immediately, it's just good to figure out what the difference is between each jump, right? And I'm just going to throw this out here. This is not how cooking works. And typically, if you cook more food, it doesn't just exponentially go up in terms of cooking time. I figured I would just throw that out there for anyone trying to cook. Anyway, but the answer, how would you determine how long you should cook 10 pieces of chicken for, is I know that since I'm just multiplying these, the amount of pieces by 8, then the answer would be B, right? Multiply 8 by 10. And also, I guess B and D are exactly the same answer, which is odd, but yep, either one of those would work. So let's just go to 3. The chart below shows how many cans you can fit in a certain number of bags. How would you determine the number of cans you'd have for 12 bags? So let's just go for the... let's see if we can figure out the pattern. So right now, I'm seeing that this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. So the bags are going up by 1, cans are going up by 4. And it looks like all we're doing is multiplying the amount of bags by 4, right? 5 times 4 is 20, 6 times 4, 24, 7 times 4, 28. So we're just multiplying the amount of bags by 4. So the answer would be, how would you determine the number of cans you'd have for 12 bags? You would just multiply 12 by 4. So the answer would be B. Number 4, Robin created a chart showing how much money she had at the end of each week. How would you determine how much money she'd have at the end of week 9? So let's see what these are going up by. 27 plus what equals 36? That would be plus 9. And I can see that all of these are... I'm sorry, that was looked more like a multiplication. Anyway, these are all multiples of 9, right? So 27, 3, so we're just multiplying in this case by 9. Okay? So a good way to do this, as I said, is figure out how much is changing on each side of the chart. Now, sometimes you'll find something where the chart might be, it might be something like 5, and then 7, and then 11, and then 17. And then you're just like, I don't know what the pattern is for this. But if you actually sit and see, okay, so this is plus 2, then this would be plus 4, and then this would be plus 6, you would say, oh, so the pattern is it's increasing every time it jumps, it increases. So if this is plus 2, plus 4, plus 6, this would be plus 8, right? So it would be 17 plus 8, which would be 25. So that's another way that they do patterns that I've seen, where it'll actually be increasing, but the amount it increases by is going up by a specific amount. So that's another way. So that's why it's always good to see the difference is how much is added in each jump, because sometimes it might not be as easy as this. But anyway, at the end of week 9, you would have to multiply 9 by 9, which is 81. So hopefully this video is helpful.